with the report and all that. But yeah, we're fine with discussing and figuring out what we can come to in terms of an agreement. Honestly, we're not really upset about the situation, excluding the fact that we won't be compensated for any of our lost gear. Um, we were mainly just wanting to see if you guys looted our bodies, and if you did, if we'd be able to get our gear returned. And if that was the case, we'd probably be fine with closing the report.
Um, so I will step in here. So when it comes to reports and things of that nature, unless it's like a blatant mass KOS, something super buggy, crazy happened, when it comes to reports, we don't, as staff, we don't comp. If you guys work something out in
Yeah, that's what
character,
I'm.
if you did something in character, fully in character, cool. Like it makes sense in character to do so. But I'm not saying this is like a threat or anything like that. But saying you're okay to close the report if you get your gear back is and can be seen as blackmail. So I would avoid saying that going further. If
Yeah,
you,
it's some verbiage.
um,
Yeah, that's fine.
so if you guys worked out something in character, you guys can contact each other and it makes sense. Whatever, cool, that's great. But as far as closing the report because
I
you get your
mean,
gear back, I have to recommend against that.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. Though I will add that it is a bit weird, and maybe you can comment on it after. We can keep it to the like actual report, but this is the first RP server that I've ever seen that if a rule break happens, that staff doesn't do anything to accommodate the players who were victim to the rule break. So that's a bit wild to me, but we can move on from that.
Um, Main thing I'll say about that is because if you guys are mediating this, then we're not coming to a verdict on whether or not there was a rule break. If
Right.
if it was to go through, then it would go through the whole process of whether or not there was a rule break or not. Staff hasn't determined whether or not there's been a rule break or not. So um, we can't compensate for anything that
Well,
obviously hasn't
you
been determined as a rule break.
you according to the compensation rules, you wouldn't compensate anyways unless it was a blatant rule
Yeah,
break
yeah,
that
unless
didn't need
it's a
discussion.
yeah.
So that's what I'm commenting on.
Oh,
That
okay, I got you.
I've played on maybe half a dozen roleplay servers, and all of them compensate players who have rules broken on their server. But again, we'll just continue with the mediation.
Yeah. Anything, anything that you wanted to say
I'm gonna
about the actual
definitely really quick
situation?
just because there's someone around. Just ping me if you need me to talk.
Okay.
I do understand that accidents happen and everything, and I understand sometimes accidentally one pipping just happens. So I mean, personally, we're not really upset about it. Um, though, if it is the case that we won't be able to be compensated at all, um, because the break doesn't go through, then that might be different.
What do you mean? I'm sorry. If you could just re-explain that.
You said that if we mediate the report, then we would not be compensated.
Well, you won't be compensated unless it was like a mass KOS, anyways. But what I was saying is, even if we did compensate for rule breaks, if you're mediating it, then to staff, then it's no rule break, quote unquote, because we're not verdicting it to a rule break.
Well,
Is what I
we
meant.
don't really. Yeah, I mean, we understand it was an accident, and I mean, we don't really want to proceed with the report because we know it's an accident. We more so made it to get compensated because, I mean, we weren't blatantly KOS'd, but technically we were KOS'd because there was no proper initiation. So, I mean, we can close out the report, but definitely want to talk to higher ups about getting compensated because, respectfully, it is kind of BS that if players get improperly initiated on and killed, they don't get their items back. Um, it's a bit wild to me. So I guess mediation done. Unless you have anything to say, Pets.
I
Oh yeah,
mean,
I'd like to say a couple things. First off, I really want to apologize for the event that happened. Well, it's not a good roleplay event. It was no RP at all because it was just a shootout basically.
Yeah.
What happened was I haven't posted my POV yet. The POV I've seen on the report is from Stannis. That's my friend. Basically, what happened is we saw you guys pull into Pietko, and we decided that we want to initiate on you. So we run in there. Stannis initiates on one like pip, and then I initiate. But turns out I initiate even like as it seems from the video, like simultaneously or even like later because there's a small like I think it's a how do you call it? Like it's you say it in game, but it comes across like a millisecond or like half a second later. So I already start shooting before even my initiation is heard. Like I just say hands up. That's all I get out because then I see aiming guns and I just panicked. I started shooting.
Did
That's what
you also
happened.
one pip it?
No, I had it on 3. I made sure of it before I ran in. I'm pretty sure because I always do that.
Yeah. I didn't hear it, but it might have been because I got beamed before I heard it.
I
So
think it's because of that. I don't know if Chilled heard it. He should have. I don't know.
um, let me get him down, Devin.
Sorry, what's up?
Did you hear him initiate after I got shot?
I did not. Personally, no.
Okay.
Do you have a clip of you initiating?
Me, I do not sadly have a clip of it, but you can hear it in Stannis. It could have been like that. I was also on one pip. Shouldn't have
Yeah.
happened because I always like try to make very sure of it before I initiate. But
Yeah,
it could
Shaw
have
doesn't
been,
have
man.
this clip either. I
Yeah.
mean, the whole situation is kind of like it happened, and I mean, we're not really upset about it. More so upset with not upset with you guys, but with the compensation rules that are in the community. So,
Because like at the end of the
um,
day, shit happens, right? And like it was a mistake, and we understand that. It's like one of those things where like, would your character have yelled? Sure, but because of server rules, it's like you're supposed to 3 pip, and that's like another control that you're not really worrying about when the adrenaline is pumping and you're getting ready to fight someone. Clearly, I mean, we've both been involved in fights. I mean, we just got done with a fight ourselves, like literally less than 10 minutes ago. So, um with that being said, again, we understand it's like it happens, and but at the same time, it's like it happened. You feel me?
Yeah. I mean, we looted some parts of you guys. We
well,
still do have your car, and if you would like be down for it, we could maybe work something out in game.
it wouldn't. I mean, realistically, it wouldn't make sense for us to um negotiate with you guys, and
Hmm.
I don't think it would make sense IC for you guys to give away free stuff. So it's more that we need to discuss with staff about compensation and all of that,
Hello,
and have
yes,
to
which
argue
is why
that.
I've popped in. And unfortunately, there is nothing there to argue if you refer to the compensation policy. It says verbatim, when you are a victim of a blatant rule break by another player in which the player breaking the rules is banned on the spot. In situations like this, we will not be compensating. I understand that there is a disagreement here with the compensation policy, and you guys are free to make a suggestion on seeing changes to that. But as it stands, with the way the compensation policy is, we will not be comping.
Yeah, we're more just voicing our concerns because we've been a part of the Daisy roleplay community for like 5 years now, and this is the first server that doesn't compensate their players who had rules broken on their server, which it honestly baffles me. I'm not gonna lie. That players lose items because of a rule break, and they're not compensated. And then also, if a agreement is made by the parties that are involved were not allowed to, unless in character the people with our equipment decide graciously to give random people loot, essentially.
The main thing I'll say about that is just to everything in character needs to be in character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm reiterating. Like, it would make zero sense for our characters to speak to the nationalists on peaceful terms, and the nationalists would not give foreigners high tier equipment and a vehicle.
Yeah,
So
like
we
IRP doesn't
literally
make
can't get
sense.
our items back despite rules being broken.
Like, and
Even if we proceeded
he's
with the report, nothing would happen because somebody didn't mass KOS, despite us technically being KOS because they weren't banned on the spot. Um, then we're not receiving our items.
and I just
So,
want to reiterate the fact, like, Pat, I don't think you're a malicious guy. I understand.
oh yeah, we're not upset with Pat at
Yeah,
all. It's just
we're
the
not upset with you
compensation.
guys as people. We're just voicing our concerns that there should be, even like in a minor effect, if it was like the 5 items or whatever, just because like it's kind of it. So like I brought this up to another staff member who I'll remain unnamed because they shared the same opinion as us. Um, that I was like, what stops a group from getting their buddy on, for a day, go hit a group, one pip initiate, takes the report, but gives us all the gear, and that's again a really extreme scenario. If people were really wanted pixels that bad, obviously that's not us, but there's just a huge flaw with that, and I don't know. Like I said, we've been a part of multiple DayZ RP communities, and that's kind of wild that one of
It
the
seems
bigger
kind of
ones
lazy,
doesn't.
honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
So
If I might add something to that, honestly, like I understand completely. Like losing that stuff that you guys lost is painful. And if it were up to me, it's not up to me sadly, but if it were up to me, I'd just say avoid the situation, like trying to give you all the stuff back
I
OOCly,
agree.
and it never happened. That would
Yeah.
be like the perfect scenario for me. I know that
Yeah, we
probably
love RPing
won't be
with you guys.
possible,
It's
but
just like a shitty situation. Cause like, yeah, I know you're a good guy. I can tell you guys have really like fun RP. We love running into you guys, fighting with you guys. It's great. The gripe I have is like, what stops like our group or your group from recruiting a guy who's been in the community for like less than a week, and he goes one pip initiates or accidentally in quotation mark KOSs, then boom, you have that 300 nails that was in our car, you have all that money that was going towards our code locks, like, and like the SVD, etc. It's just such a flawed thing because like, yeah, you guys broke a rule, but what, like, nothing happens to you guys. You guys just get to keep the shit. And again, it's pixels at the end of the
okay,
day. It's just
so
the
I'm going
matter
to
of
jump in here.
Pat, I don't think
I
you're a
do
bad guy. I think you're a
apologize.
good guy.
Um, with reports, it's not true that nothing happens to people if a rule has been broken. I won't weigh in on if a rule has or has not been broken, but with reports, they're not aimed for compensation of the community. They are aimed to teach people the rules and punish when rules are broken. That means they'll accumulate points, they'll accumulate a ban if a rule has been broken. And enough of those add up over time, and they'll end up removed from the community.
Right.
Again, reports don't come back to getting people compensated. There are rare cases in which a rule break does lead to compensation. And like I said earlier, it's usually due to the other player being banned on the spot because they're going on a KOS spree or something similar. Going into it further, again, I have to go back to if you guys disagree with the policy, please feel free to make a suggestion. There's nothing we can do, especially in a help desk call. We don't handle policy changes in a help desk call. We prefer transparency, and so if a change comes about, it would have to come about through a suggestion post, which you guys are free to do so. But
Okay. Yeah, we'll
I
definitely do that.
I wanted to put that out there because I worry about the conversation going in circles, which I'm more than happy to listen to you guys vent. That's not an issue. I understand the frustration, but I nothing will change from a help desk call, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, then there's nothing else to be said, honestly. So we'll be dropping the report and making a suggestion. about the policy because you're harming the players who are reporting, and the even if the people who broke the rules they get in trouble, you're also harming your player base.
So,
If that's how you feel free to put that in your suggestion. I don't quite agree with that, but again, it's you are
I
more
mean,
than
do
welcome
you
to make
think
that suggestion. I don't think we're harming the players that report because again, reports don't have anything to do with compensation.
the main
Can I add
thing-
something to this real quick? I've been around for a long time, like on and off DayZ RP, since 2K16. The thing is, back in the day, you hadn't have all this like base build stuff and all this grind that I feel like some people are taking on DayZ RP right now. Like for some people, it's a grind, like grinding nails, grinding code locks for their base and stuff. And I absolutely like understand people that put in the effort, the work, getting their stuff taken by an initiation or a firefight or a rule break. It's frustrating. I imagine it being so frustrating, and I do think there needs to be like some sort of change to that too, because it's been like DayZ has become like for some people it's a grind. It's a daily grind to get their base up, to get their base secure, and all that. So I think like the mentality changed of like the player base as well, and there has to be like some sort of adjustment. Like I understand these two guys absolutely.
Your server's evolving, your rules need to as well. Because that post that
I
was made about
understand we're
compensation was
going in a
made years
circle
ago.
here. We are going in a circle here. And I understand you guys are frustrated. It comes back to making a suggestion. I can't do anything from a help desk call. Nova can't do anything from a help desk call.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Make a
We'll
suggestion.
Mitch and I will just talk things over, and then we'll be in contact in the future regarding everything.
Pat, I would ask
Sounds
you
good.
to say exactly what you've just said, but in form of text in the suggestion that we're going to be making.
Oh, I will leave a post in your suggestion thread. Yeah.
Appreciate you, gang. So yeah, Mitch and I will go talk things over before going forward with any of this. We'll be in contact.
Okay.
Sound good, everyone?
Just to clarify, you guys are both okay with the report being closed?
We're gonna talk it over. We're gonna talk it over.
Okay, so
Okay.
it's not being closed.
Yep, we're gonna talk. Like I said, we're gonna talk it over before going forward.
Okay.
All right. Take it easy.
Take care.
Goodbye.
Love you, Pat.
Bye bye.
Oh
Holy
my god.